Hello everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I want to show you how you can do the French stitch. So this is a way to keep the stitch neat on both sides of the fabric. So this is going to be a basics video so that you can learn something new. So the French stitch is something that we mostly use when we have really thin fabric like linen or silk, or when we just want the stitches to be neat from both sides, sometimes with clothing, or if the edges should be really neat. Of course, this doesn't mean that you can't do it in other projects, but the thicker your fabric is, the trickier it's going to be, and the thicker your French stitch is going to be in the end, and you're going to see soon why. So here is everything that we're going to need for today. So we have a little bit of fabric here. So I have something thin. So I have two pieces that I want to put together. Then fabric scissors, thread in the matching color to your fabric. Then something to measure with. I have here my measuring tape and my hand gauge and some pins. So in this case, you need to make sure you have enough room for your stitches. So you always need a little bit more room than what you actually plan for, because the French stitch takes up a little bit of the fabric on the inside. So we have here two little pieces. We're going to put them pretty side on pretty side. And then we're just going to pin the edge that we want to connect. So you can do it vertically and just sew over it, or a little bit further away from the edge, but horizontally, that way it won't get in the way of your needle. And then the next step is going to be just to do a straight stitch as you always would. So make sure you don't do it as close to the edge as you usually would, so we need a little bit more room than usual, because as I said, the French stitch takes up a little bit more of the fabric than a regular stitch. So now that we did the stitch here, and I used the contrasting colors so that you can see it better, now what we want to do is shorten this side a little bit, and then we can move on. So we need here less distance than the distance from the first and the second stitch. You're going to see in a moment exactly what I mean when I say that. So we're going to do a second stitch that's basically going to hide this little section with the open edge that might fray. So now that we shortened this, we can open this up. So basically put it this way around so that we can see the stitch in the leftover fabric. And then what we're going to do is iron over this so that it's always on the same side. So it doesn't matter if it's left or right. We just need it on one side and not switching or wrinkling itself in a weird way. So on the other side, then we're going to have a really nice and straight stitch. Now we're going to put it this way, so we're basically going to fold it inwards, and then we're also going to iron over that to keep it straight. Make sure that you follow the direction of the fabric on the inside, so we want a really straight edge here. So when you do that, then you can iron over it and it'll stay that way. So now that we have everything nice and prepared, we can get started with the next step. So we're going to do about a half a centimeter or even a whole centimeter away from the edge, and we're going to do a stitch there. So it's again going to be a straight stitch, and we're trying to hide the little section that we did on the inside. So that's the whole point of the bigger distance between the two stitches than from the first stitch and the edge. So I'm going to do that now. And now that I did this, this is what the result looks like. So you see here the darker thread a little bit better than if I used the white. So this way we're basically hiding the part of the fabric where we cut it open and where it might fray in the future. So now what we want to do is basically unfold this so that you can see from both sides what it looks like. And then what we're going to do is ironed over to the one side again. And now you can see the two examples of my French stitch, once from the inside here where you can see the thread, and then here on the left side with the thread that's in white. So you can see here, this is the back side of the fabric. So we have one visible stitch and the rest of it is pretty neat. And then here you can see what it looks like when we do a white or a matching thread. So this is the front side and this would be the back side here. So I think it's pretty neat from both sides, and that's exactly the point of the French stitch. So I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe, click on the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye!